Some folks have a quiet understanding. It's a language that comes from suffering and fluency that comes from turmoil. You can't read about it in a book or watch a movie to learn it. You have to do it. If you're here, it's probably because you felt an invisible wound that was so unusual that you doubted your own mind. We're not only talking about abuse today, we're talking about the sounds it makes. These are the 7 things that only people who have been abused by narcissists really get. A new day represents a new beginning for most people. It could feel like getting ready for a fight that you hope won't happen. It's not just about being anxious. It's a deep-seated state of heightened alert that you can't help but go back to. You've learned to read the emotional weather by always looking for the smallest change in mood or tone on the horizon. It's the skill of being able to guess what will happen next. You think about talks before they happen and get ready for every conceivable turn. You think 3 steps ahead, not because you're trying to be smart, but to stay safe. If I say this, they might do that, so maybe I should say this instead. It's a never-ending, tiring game of mental chess, and you're the only one who understands the rules are continually changing. It's not simply about being careful. It's about putting up eggshells around yourself to protect yourself. You learn how to analyze risks in everyday circumstances. A simple query like, "What do you want for dinner?" can seem like a trap. If you give the wrong answer, you can get the silent treatment, a passive-aggressive comment, or a full-blown fight that finishes with you saying you're sorry. You learn to always have a neutral, safe answer. You become too accommodating, not because you're typically indecisive, but because someone used your decisiveness against you in the past. This persistent state of just-in-case thinking is an energy leak that others can't see, and it drains your life force. Today is finally a day when everything seems regular. You and a friend chuckle. You like to have a calm cup of coffee. You do something at work, and for a brief period you forget, and then it dawns on you. A wave of shame. How can you be happy? How can you experience a moment of tranquility when you were taught that you were the problem and the cause of all the trouble? This isn't just feeling bad for the people that died. It's a response that has been programmed. When someone is narcissistic, they make you feel that you can't be happy until the abuser gives it to you or agrees with it. They often saw your happiness as a danger or an insult, especially if they weren't the ones who made you happy. You learn to turn down your own light. It can feel like you're betraying the person you had to be when you start to mend and have real moments of happiness. It is odd and lonely to feel bad about your own health. It's the ghost of their might, a ghostly hand reaching out to drag you back into the familiar darkness. You need to tell yourself on purpose that it's okay to be joyful and that your peace isn't a crime. It takes time and effort to get back your right to be happy. One moment without guilt at a time. Third, they don't trust compassion at all. When someone is genuinely nice to you without expecting anything in return, your first thought isn't relief. It's distrust. You start to wonder what they want. You hunt for the angle, the underlying motive, and the price you'll have to pay for this moment of decency. A compliment makes you feel like you're being set up. When someone does something nice for you, it feels like you owe them something. This is because you used to think of kindness as a deal. It was a way to control you, a practice called love bombing. The sweetness made the poison simpler to swallow. There was love, but it always came with a bill that you had to pay by being obedient, quiet, or sane. So now, whether a new friend, a helpful coworker, or a loving lover is just being nice, your internal alarm system goes off. You might draw away, hurt the relationship, or stay emotionally distant to protect yourself from the suffering you think will come. One of the most painful things that will last after this torture is this. It turns something as precious as kindness into a possible threat. Learning to trust goodness at face value is like learning a new language. It seems strange and awkward at first, yet it is the language of your future. Fourth, the emptiness of "I told you so." There comes a time when the folks who told you about the abuser see the truth come out. They watch the mask come off. They can say, "I told you so," or "I knew it all along." You would think that this moment would make you feel better, but it doesn't. Instead, it often seems empty, even painful. Hearing "I told you so" doesn't take away the years you spent protecting them. It doesn't take back all the times you made excuses for what they did. It doesn't help to be considered insane or too sensitive. In fact, it can feel like more humiliation. It shows how alone you felt when you were the only one who recognized their true colors. And it makes you think of the period when you weren't sure what was real. You don't need someone to tell you that you were right. You need someone to sit with you amid the wreckage and say, "I'm so sorry you had to go through that. You didn't do anything wrong." Validation that arrives too late can feel more like an indictment than a help. It's not enough for other people to finally realize the truth for you to heal. You need to fully and completely understand that what you went through was genuine, and that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Number 5 is the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough. You might be alone, far away, and years after the abuse, yet you'll still hear their voice in your thoughts. It's the ghost critic, the voice within your head that tells you what to do. It's the way they talk, the things they say, and the things they always say that bother them. You burn the toast and they label you stupid. You make a tiny mistake at work and they tell you you'll never be anything. This voice inside your head is not your own. It was put there over the years with small insults, open criticism, and relentless undermining. The abuser wanted you to think that you needed them since you couldn't do anything without their help. They wanted to be your inner compass, continually pointing out your flaws. One of the hardest things about getting better is getting rid of this fake critic. It's a way of rebelling in your mind. You need to learn how to respond back to that voice, question it, and replace it with your own voice of reason and compassion. To get rid of a squatter in your mind and take back your own inner voice, you have to make a conscious effort. You start to understand that the most important talks you'll ever have are the ones you have with yourself, and you deserve for those talks to be nice. 6. Wanting a normal kind of sorry. You just wanted a real apology. Not the kind of apology that says, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Not the kind of apology that says, "I'm sorry but you." Just say, "I'm sorry I was wrong and I hurt you." But you now know that this is something you probably won't ever have. A real apology is a sign of weakness for a narcissist. It shows that they aren't perfect, and that their carefully built image of superiority is flawed. They don't want to give up power. Instead, they give you excuses that throw the blame back on you. They will change the story, rewrite history, and make you feel like you are the one who needs to say sorry for being harmed. Accepting that you will never have the closure of a sincere apology is a unique and deep kind of sadness. You need to learn how to end things for yourself. You need to accept your own grief and understand that the fact that they don't feel bad about it doesn't make your feeling any less true. You need to be the one who says, "What happened to me was not okay," and that should be enough. Their apologies doesn't make things better. It comes from not requiring it anymore. 7. The quiet power of seeing color in the world. Once more, there is a time long after the storm has passed when you see something simple. The flavor of your morning coffee, the feel of the sun on your skin, or the sound of birds singing outside your window could all be examples. And all of a sudden you know that you really feel it. The world is no longer a dull gray place where people just get by. The color is starting to come back. This isn't a loud, happy win. It's a change that happens inside. It's like your nervous system has finally calmed down after being on high alert for years. It's when you realize you haven't thought about them all day. It's the simple pleasure of being able to make a choice, big or small, without worrying about it. Only someone who has lived in the gray can completely understand this strength. It's the strength of a spirit that wouldn't let itself die. It's the deep calm that comes with taking back control of your own mind and life. You begin to believe in your own judgment again. You begin to like the person you are becoming. This calm, steady return to yourself is the best sign that you made it through and are now free to live. If any of this struck a chord with you and you felt that silent nod of understanding, know that you're not alone. This trip is hard, but you are not alone on it. Please think about liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more videos that will help you heal. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. What is anything you now know that you didn't know before? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Someone else might be able to find their way out of the dark because of your story.